Here we are. Welcome back to the final episode of our MK11 story playthrough, at least until MK13, where I'll probably replay all of these games, but as a stream, an hour stream for each one. Doesn't sound too bad, am I right? But anyhow, what are my thoughts about Aftermath as a whole? Although I do have issues with Aftermath. I have way less issues with Aftermath than I do base game MK11. MK11 is one of those games where it has good ideas, poorly executed, shitty idea. Time travel almost always sucks. And here, it is a little more self-contained. I like that it gives heed to other characters. At least it gives a reason why Sindel wasn't in the story mode, why Shiva wasn't here, and all this other stuff. And I like what they've done with the characters here. I would prefer if NetherRealm actually focused on other characters and kept on doing these story modes where the DLC characters get some shine, but characters that didn't get shine in the base game as well, I think also should have been here. They definitely felt more self-contained and everything else. I like Nightwolf's character. I like Fujin's character. I do not like Sindel's characterization. Sindel's character through Midway's era was meant to be. She's meant to be the typical. Don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, she looks like an evil goth Disney queen. Sindel looks evil, but she's not. She's actually mind controlled, and she killed herself. She did sacrificial suicide to save her race and to try to save her people, to make sure Shao Kahn couldn't merge Edenia with the other realms. Well, oh, wait, no. It was her. Actually, it might have been to protect Earthrealm. So Shao Kahn couldn't invade other places. She was a good queen, a loving mother, and all this other stuff. She was a good character. And throughout Midway's timeline, she's always fighting with being mind-controlled. She's eventually saved by Katana. Then she saves Katana, her daughter. She has a really nice character, and she's grown to be one of my favorite characters. She's a really good written character in Midway's timeline, and we all thought NetherRealm's story was going to follow the same thing, where in MK9, there's not an inkling of her being evil. In her character bio, it actually talks about her being mind-controlled. And even in MK9's story, when they go to revive her, she is mind-controlled and needs to be bewitched to be controlled by Shao Kahn. In MK11, they throw that shit out the window and say, "Oh, she's always been evil. She's the one that killed Jared, but maybe D'Vorah killed Jared." It's a very weird placement with all this crap, with especially on who murdered Jared, but that's not that's either here nor there. But like they like totally botched her character overall. It just kind of like sucks that this will probably be the version that most people know. I'm happy in MK1 they did fix this and made her a flawed but fair and good character. She's a good guy, which is the way she's always should have been. And I won't be surprised if they come back and like, well, they can't really exactly mind control her. They could make an undead zombie version of her if they wanted to bring her back, because her soul's in Ermac, and unless they do something where they can take out only her soul, we probably won't see Sindel in the new timeline. Maybe it's non-canon DLC, which is fine. I don't mind. She is very popular. That's my biggest issue with this story as a whole, especially Aftermath, is she's just wow. It also seeks to make Kronika look more like a bitch, because Shang Tsung's able to beat her, And the whole thing with Titans is, oh, blah, 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 you can't beat them, blah, 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 even though Liu Kang was able to. It's just a thing. I do like that it gives you two different endings that are canon now because of MK1. I don't know how I feel about it just being like the whole like multiverse plot. I will say that they did not really follow through with Shang Tsung's ending here. She has a whole realm to his disposal, but you only see Titan Shang Tsung, and if you either forgot what happened in Aftermath or never played Aftermath and MK1 was your first game, why is it only him? Fujin should have been a playable character, and they should have. And this is where I get into the thing of MK's standard should be variations, not just like one defaulto character. Because then you could have had evil Shang Tsung Raiden as one of his 3 variations instead. Fujin should have been in the base game, or at least should have been a non-playable CPU, like the Fusions are. No, really, they really should be, because they were his right hand and left hand man, respectively, in Shang Tsung's ending, and they are nowhere to be found in MK1 at all. And I doubt Liu Kang's and Shang Tsung's timelines, we see them both at the same point in history. Now, this is a project of them flushing out MK1, but this is shit that you should keep in mind. I mean, ignore the fact that Aftermath does present retcons to MK11 story mode, so they couldn't even keep it consistent, i.e. Shang Tsung knowing about the crown, and 2, being the one who creates the crown. In base MK11, Kronika's crown is considered an ancient artifact wielded by Kronika. But in Aftermath, Shang Tsung's the one who makes it, to make Shang Tsung more powerful, to make him look more threatening, and all this other stuff. He's meant to be threatening, and I just feel like they're trying too hard. They're putting all their eggs in a single basket. Yes, Shang Tsung's a good villain. I do like his more modern interpretation. But I can also see why somebody wouldn't like all the Shang Tsung villain stuff and all this shit when it's only really him being a competent villain. Shao Kahn was smart in Midway's era, and he's a bumbling idiot in this one. He was smart. He had guts. He had patience. That's not something that NetherRealm Shao Kahn had really at all, and it kind of continues on here. It's just kind of like sad to see it happen, almost. Like, it is sad to see, and I wish that they would do something different. Hopefully they can turn this around in MK13. I doubt they will, though. I do think MK1's a big improvement over MK11. I have to say, I like MK11's gameplay and everything better than MK1, but I like the characterization better in MK1, and I think that's really where I'm going to leave that off at.